Hi, my name is Edie Carlisle, and this is my second video. I hope to make 90 videos or make a video every day for 90 days and perhaps even longer. I hope to improve on my videos as the days go by. Today, I would like to talk about the power of your thoughts. Thoughts are so important. They are actually the most important thing that we do. We are oftentimes not even aware of what we are thinking. Some of our thoughts are influenced by television, by newspapers, by our peers, by the people that talk to us all the time. And what we don't realize is that we're taking in whatever their perception of the thought is. And in most cases, it is more of a negative thought than a positive thought. Because as children, we heard more no's than we ever heard yes. It was no, don't touch that. No, don't do that. No, don't go out the door. No, you cannot touch that. So many no's, and not very many yeses. And therefore, we retain more negative feelings in our mind and in our subconscious mind than we ever do in the positive thoughts, the yeses. Because we hear so many no's, it is so much easier for us to have negative thoughts throughout our life. It is harder for us to really think positive thoughts. We tend to worry, we tend to have anxieties, we tend to project into the future, and most of the time when we project into the future, we're not thinking positive thoughts. We are thinking, oh, I can't do this, or oh, this is not going to be successful, or golly, everything goes wrong that can go wrong. We normally think in negative thoughts. So we really must start being aware of our thoughts so that we can change them. We really must stop our chatterbox. That's what I call the constant noise that we have when we're thinking. Most of the time, again, it is negative. It goes on 24 hours a day. Even when you are sleeping, your chatterbox or your constant inner talk, is going all the time. This is one of the reasons why you dream. You dream because of the thoughts that you have put in your subconscious mind as well as your conscious mind. And oftentimes, dreaming is a way of solving whatever problems or situation we have been thinking about predominantly. Now, nobody can control our thoughts by ourselves, but ourselves. Viktor Frankl, I don't know if you've heard of him. He was a prisoner of war in the Second World War. He was a psychologist in Germany, and he lost all of his family members during the Holocaust, and he was separated from his wife and family, and it took a long time actually for him to even know that some of them had died. Some he saw die very soon after they were in the concentration camp. But he was a firm believer that you could control your thoughts. The SS and the Nazis and the prison guards, they could control your body. They could beat you up and torture you or do many things that were bad, but they could not really control your mind. And this is how he survived the concentration camp, because I believe he was in it for like 4 years. It was a long time. And of course he was tortured and was treated the way many prisoners were treated during the war. I realize we've had other wars since then, but he wrote a wonderful book about how you can control, if you can control your thoughts, you can control what happens in your life. And this is how he made it so that he could survive and write his book so that people could realize what really did transpire during the Holocaust. Another thing, everything that is made, the bookshelves and the books that you see behind me, the desk that I'm sitting at, the computer that I'm recording this on and will be publishing it on, absolutely everything that has ever been made has been a thought first. Otherwise, it could not have been made. So this is one of the reasons why thoughts are so very, very important. The other thing is thoughts control your attitude. If you have negative thoughts, you will most likely be very unhappy or be grumpy or angry or sad, and you will express that to your family, to your friends, to anybody that you meet, just by the way you stand, the tone of voice, your facial expression, etc. Whereas if you do control your thoughts to make them more happy thoughts or positive thoughts, that will be your attitude. And having a positive attitude or enthusiastic attitude will bring you so much more happiness and so much more success than any kind of negative thought or negative attitude. We have to realize that we can control our thoughts, even though many people think they can't. When we become aware of what we are thinking, we can actually stop and decide to switch it to the opposite. So let's say we're worried about money, that we don't think we have enough money to pay our bills. And we start worrying about the lack of money and, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my bill? How am I going to survive? Am I going to be able to have money for the rent or pay for the electricity or pay for the water, etc., etc.? Now, when we start doing something like that, we must immediately become aware of it and stop it and start thinking and saying, there is always a way to find a way of paying my bills. They might be late, but there is always a way. There are opportunities everywhere if we take the time to be quiet and to think about what it is that I have a talent for. What skill do I have? What do I like to do? Is there anything that I like to do that could possibly create some kind of money business? Let's say you like to read. Do you know that there are companies that you can actually find on the internet that you can read out loud to make some kind of recording, either for blind students or for old people who no longer can see well enough but still are not blind? There are many, many things that one can do if they put their mind to it and stop worrying. So that is one of the ways you have to control your thoughts. And worrying is just thinking, and it's thinking the wrong things. It's thinking negative things. It's thinking oftentimes about the future. Or again, we oftentimes think about the past. Now, we can't change the past. Nothing that we have ever done in the past can ever be changed. No word that we have ever spoken in the past can ever be taken back. Therefore, there is no point in thinking about the past. The place to think about is right here, the present moment. This is the only moment you have, and this is the moment that will create your future. So I want you to think right now what it is that you would like in your future. What type of a life? What kind of a life? Where would you like to put your energy, your focus? But you have to think about it. And as I said yesterday, oftentimes it is so much better if you write in a journal, if you write it down exactly the things that you really want to accomplish in your life. Remember, there was a movie, I think it was called The Bucket List, and it was two older gentlemen, and they wrote a list of what they wanted to do or see or have before they died. And if I remember the movie correctly, they accomplished almost everything, if not everything in it, because they wrote it down. So write down all your thoughts And if you find you're writing negative thoughts, then be aware of it, stop, and write the absolute opposite of it, and focus on the opposite, on the positive. So I want you to realize also that in this same blogging site, to the side of me, I believe it is to the right side, but I'm not positive, there is a free video for you to watch all about how to empower your life and make money while doing it. So I hope you click on that, opt into the form, and then watch the free video. It's very, very interesting and very informative. Well, that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I feel I did a little better job, but I still would like any comments you have of how I could improve. So, blessings to everyone, and have a wonderful night. Thank you. Bye-bye.